Hello my guys, welcome to another episode of the Microwave Kicks. It's another year we go again for Chelsea. Just when we thought Chelsea are gonna rest for a bit or rest for another 24 hours. Apart from yesterday's year we go, today we have another year we go. Now come with me, let's see this. According to Fabrizio Romano, Joao Pedro to Chelsea, here we go. Agreement done, club to club fee, for fee in excess of 50 million. Joao will travel on Tuesday for medical test and contract signing, ready for FIFA Club World Cup. Wow. So the thing is, there's another signing. Yesterday it was Jamie Gittins. Today it is Joao Pedro. I made a video yesterday concerning this whole Joao Pedro thing that I wasn't really convinced. I'm not really happy with the fact that Chelsea are actually interested in Joao Pedro. I was not happy because I needed a marquee signing. I needed a statement signing. I needed somebody who could change the face of the Chelsea's attack. I needed somebody who when he plays against any opponent, the opponent fears, his physique. The opponent fears, how he is, how he scores goals, how he's very clinical. You understand what I'm trying to say? Now, who is Joao Pedro? He's a Brazilian, young player who plays for Brighton. And he initially plays for Watford, and Brighton bought him, I think 2 seasons ago. And he doesn't really start all the matches for Brighton, but I think he has a very good GA when it comes to, minutes played and all of that. Now, Chelsea have decided to do their business early. That's for a fact. Because Chelsea actually signed the lab prior to this Club World Cup. And we could see how it has actually helped, that it has actually helped Chelsea because of this whole Jackson thing and all of that. With Joao Pedro, I think after signing, I think he will be heading to the US. I think he will be heading to the US to join the squad that is going to execute, the quarterfinal, the semi-final, and also the final of the Club World Cup. Because I think if you get to the quarterfinal, you are allowed to register new player, at every point, at every knockout stage. Now, this is a project signing. I know most Chelsea players, most Chelsea fans rather, want a kind of a marquee signing like I did, like I wanted, like my yesterday's video. If you have not seen that, please go check that out. Like I wanted a marquee signing. I wanted Victor Osimhen. I wanted somebody that when the rival fans hear that, Chelsea have actually signed this player, they will be so jittery, they'll be scared because they know that Chelsea are automatically Premier League contenders. We already have Jackson. We already have Delap. Where is Joao Pedro going to play? It's the reason why I think Chelsea actually executed this particular deal, why Chelsea bought him, is for the fact that he's a utility player. And him being a utility player means he could play in either positions. He could play at the top 9 as a center forward. He can play at the left wing. He can play at the right wing. He can play behind the striker. So that's how good he is. That is one of the reasons why Chelsea actually bought him. If you normally follow my channel, you would notice that I've always spoken about, like, very, very vocal about the fact that if Chelsea are actually interested in a player, that player has to be very, very versatile in attack. Jamie Gittins is versatile. Trust me. He's not only good on the left wing. He can also play on the right wing. He can also play behind the striker. All right. So Ekitike, Chelsea was interested or are still interested in Ekitike. Why? Because he's a versatile player. He can play on the right wing, left wing, center forward, and behind the striker. So those are the kind of players Chelsea are interested in. Mohamed Kudus, the same thing. He can play at the left wing, right wing, behind the striker, and center forward as well as the first line. So these are the kind of players Chelsea are actually interested in. Chelsea doesn't want the situation of last season, where you have players who, went on an injury, where you have like McGill was off, went on an injury. Nicholas Jackson was injured at some point. Then Nkunku, that was supposed to lead the line, was not turning up. And at that point, Chelsea had to play a first line. You understand what I'm saying? So it's crazy because this is not the player most Chelsea fans actually want. Let's be honest. Even you watching me right now, this is not the player you wanted. Because few days ago, it was Newcastle that was close to signing him. Newcastle was interested in him. But I heard he rejected Newcastle, and the fee that was actually, proposed for him was about 50 million. And Brighton also rejected that fee. So that means there's something special about this player. See, as a Chelsea fan, it has happened. Now let's actually look at this player and see his qualities. It has happened. See, we cannot stop what these sporting directors, actually do. It is what it is. It is our new reality. That's for a fact. These sporting directors were interested in Duran at the time. Then we saw what Duran actually, went on to do at Aston Villa. See, sometimes we want to support these guys, but sometimes they give us a mixed feeling. Like, we don't actually know if what they are doing is right or wrong. These are the same sporting directors that went for Joao Felix last season. What happened after 6 months? This was the same sporting director who went for the Renato Vega last season. What happened after 6 months? So sometimes we want to trust them. Yes, they made a very good scouting in Omorodion. But what happened after they couldn't sign him? He went for Porto. And look at what good work he's doing in Porto. So there are many, many players these sporting directors have actually scouted that are good. No doubt. But most of the time, they do things that we sometimes wonder if these guys are really sporting directors or they're just mere scouts. Because Chelsea are always interested in this player, that player, this player, that player, this player. Now, one of the reasons as well why Chelsea actually signed Joao Pedro is for the fact that he's a system player. All right? He's a system player that fits Enzo Maresca's style of play. He's a system player that understands how Enzo Maresca wants to play, and he will fit in seamlessly. That's for a fact. He's a player that Enzo Maresca knows that he will fit his system, not the kind of player that we the fans want. As a fan, I want Victor Osimhen. As a fan, I want Mohamed Kudus. All right? But Maresca and the sporting directors have actually sat down and have analyzed everything, and I see that this player will suit what I want to play. This player will suit this. This player will suit my style. This player will suit my style. So as a fan, we don't have a say. It's the honest truth. We don't have a say. So, also, one of the reasons why Chelsea signed him is because he's an exciting talent. Yes, he's a very young player. I think he's less than 23, 22. He's a very young player who has played in the Premier League. He's a very young player who played in Watford, played in the Premier League, went to the Championship, came back, played in Brighton. So he understands the Premier League. My concern with this guy is that he's also injury prone. Yes, he's injury prone because most of the time last season, either he's out for this or out for that, one or two things. I don't know, but he's an exciting talent. That's not a doubt. He's a Brazilian. He's an exciting talent. He can play in any position. He's versatile in the forward line. All right. Now, another thing Chelsea actually signed this guy for is because, Joao Pedro now is because he has a future resale value. In the sense that if he doesn't work out in Chelsea in the next 2 years, Chelsea are giving him 7 years contract, and at the end of the day, we could be able to sell him at our own will. We were able to sell him at the time that Chelsea wants to sell him at our own negotiation. Like Chelsea would have an upper hand in terms of negotiation. He's still young. So if he doesn't do well in 2-3 years, or he probably has played 5 years, he will still be in his prime. So that's also one thing Chelsea looked at before signing him. Because at T, trust me, Chelsea would not go for any player above 25, 26. 25 itself is too much. 24. Chelsea will not go for any player because they want their resale values to still be valid. Renato Vega that didn't actually stay here for more than 6 months, his resale value is still high. Joao Felix, his resale value is still high. Joao Felix, I think, is 24, 25. His resale value is still there. So they will always see market. See, they will always see, clubs that will come after them. That's for a fact. Now, let's move forward. I don't want this particular deal to be like the Joao Felix deal. That's why I'm very, very scared of it. Why? Because I don't want a bloated squad. I don't want a squad that, at the end of the day, we have over 30 players, we have over 10 attackers or 5 attackers, and everybody can play at the time, and probably have like 3 strikers, and everybody wants playing time. At that moment, there will be problem in the squad. At that moment, some players will be upset because everybody cannot be on the match day squad. That's the fact. All right. Yes, Chelsea is playing in the Champions League. Chelsea is playing in the Premier League. Chelsea is playing in the FA Cup and the Carling Cup. Yes, that's the Carabao Cup rather. Yes, I understand that for a fact. but every player cannot start for Chelsea. Okay, imagine Delap is injured. Probably Jackson, probably off form or something. Will Joao Pedro lead the line against a Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu? Calm down and understand that question. Will he be able to lead the line against a Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu at the quarterfinal or at the semi-final of the Champions League? But no doubt, he's a very good player, and I wish him well in Chelsea. I think he's going to do well. Now, let's read up some tweets concerning Joao Pedro. Also, a tweet from Ben Jacobs. It says, Chelsea to sign Joao Pedro, valued for versatility and system fit. Like I said, he's versatile and he fits the system. Fine. One of the reasons why Chelsea bought him. Secondly, en route to America. So that means he's going to join them at the Club World Cup and he's going to play. After the signing, I think the medical will be scheduled for tomorrow and it will be done. Now, also, he said, move initially ruled out in May before new debates in America followed by mid-June approach. So there was an interest, in May, and at the end of the day, it couldn't actually materialize. So they had to wait until this point. Chelsea are delighted to get bulk of the summer business done early. Like I said earlier, I said Chelsea have done their business early. Most of their business have done early. So if Chelsea are actually adding any other player to this squad, maybe one in attack and one in defense, and we're good. That's for a fact. So it's going to be a very good signing, no doubt. I understand that for a fact. But at the end of the day, is that what Chelsea actually wants? There's nothing we could do at this point, but we'll just have to accept it like that. Now, according to Guardian Sports, Maresca has been looking for a player who can play in a wide range of attacking positions. So that's why I stuck more on his versatility. Also, Chelsea are also considering a move for Kudus, but West Ham are expecting bid from elsewhere as it stands. Chelsea are not going to pay outrageous amount for Kudus. Let's be honest. Chelsea are not going to pay outrageous amount. This is one of the reasons why Chelsea couldn't sign him at Ajax and he went to West Ham. Chelsea are not going to pay anything above probably 50-60 at this point. All right. So if Chelsea are still interested, that's if Chelsea are still interested in Kudus. Because at this point, I think Chelsea might actually, relax that deal for now. Let's read up another tweet concerning Chelsea. Now, according to Jacobs Ben as well, he said Chelsea are still discussing whether another forward is needed. Ugo Ekitike is one potential target. Whether they move may now depend on whether Nicholas Jackson departs. So the fact is, Chelsea want to add another attacker. Nicholas Jackson has now understood the fact that he didn't take his chances last season. And this season, he won't get enough opportunity like he got last season and he didn't take them. All right? Chelsea are already moving away from Nicholas Jackson. That's for a fact. Chelsea are still interested in Ekitike, which to me, I think is inching closer to Liverpool, because at the end of the day, Liverpool are going to sell their striker and buy Ekitike. That's what I think. I don't think Ekitike will come to Chelsea. I think that amount already is outrageous, which is 100 million euros, and I think that amount is too much. I think it's not going to come. I think it's going to go to Liverpool. That's if Jackson exits Chelsea, then Ekitike is going to come to Chelsea. That's what it is. But to me, I don't think Chelsea are going to budge on that fact that they have to play 80 million pounds or 100 million euros for Ekitike. That's what I think. But Chelsea are still interested in another attacker. So if Chelsea are interested in another attacker, where would he play? So probably he will play as maybe the first choice striker or the second choice striker, to Delap. I don't think Chelsea are going to spend so much money on Ekitike and yet still put him on the bench to be a second choice striker. I think he's going to come in to be a first choice striker if Chelsea signs him, and that depends on if Jackson leaves. That's for a fact. Now let's move to some other news concerning Chelsea. According to Sam Wallace and Telefootball, he said Noni Madueke is attracting interest. Let's go again. Noni Madueke has attracted interest, including from Arsenal and potentially Newcastle. So I think Chelsea are, like I said yesterday in my yesterday's videos, Chelsea are waiting for a huge amount of money, a huge amount of bid for Noni Madueke. If that bid comes in, Chelsea are going to let him leave and probably buy Kudus as his replacement. That's what I think. But if Chelsea does not have an intention to buy another winger, I don't think Chelsea should let him leave. I think he just had a bad season. He has the talent. He's one of the best players in the Premier League when it comes to 1v1. His dribbles are top notch, but he doesn't have an end product, and that's for a fact. That's why he's suffering at this point. But if Chelsea actually let him leave, probably to Arsenal or probably to Newcastle, I think Chelsea are going to sign Kudus or sign somebody that is really, really better and has a very good finishing technique. So that's it about Noni Madueke. And overall, at the end of the day, Chelsea have actually signed him. He's a player that has a very good dribbling skill. He has a very good ball control. He's a versatile attacker. I've spoken about that. He has football intelligence. Yes, that's true. He's very good with his finishing as well. You understand? So work rate is there, pressing is there, hold up play is there, link up play is there, and he has the Brazilian flair. So these are the reasons why, in a nutshell, Chelsea signed Joao Pedro. Is Joao Pedro your preferred signing? Do you think Joao Pedro will succeed at Chelsea? Do you think this is the best signing for Chelsea? Please let me know and share your thoughts in the comments. If you are new to this channel, please hit the like button. Subscribe to this channel. Until I come away again next time, don't forget to subscribe. I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.